Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the A-Side. I'm your host, Riley. And I'm late enough already. Yeah. Part 2, Velocity to Sun Comfort, Sweet Trip. Subscribe if you're new around here. It's free. You can always unsubscribe if you want. I've made you guys wait long enough. I'm not going to make you wait any longer. So, track 5, set. Where are there no lyrics for this album? Unless this is a fully instrumental song, which is possible. I've been listening to a lot of ambient lately, actually, so this is nice. Been listening to Aphex Twin's Selected Ambient Works 85 to 92 a lot, along with Drugs. Just kind of has that nice, heady, chill, relaxing sound that ambient does. It's kind of hard to describe and react to, because it's not necessarily the most exciting thing, but it's nice, and it sounds nice, and it's great to read along to, because it creates, like, such an atmosphere and blocks out the world. I've been reading War and Peace, which is a pretty dense novel, and it can get a little confusing. There are a lot of different characters and stuff, so I've been listening to a lot of ambient to kind of drown out the world around me and keep me focused, because I listen to music to keep me focused, but with an album that's, like, so much, or with a book that's so much, I don't want a lot of, like, lyrics to be, like, confusing me, so I've been listening to the ambient, more chill stuff, like I said. Aphex Twin, Minecraft soundtrack, a little bit of Daft Punk. It's not ambient, but you know what I mean. And this fits right in that, and it's pleasant. I love the weepy, melancholy kind of vocals that this album has throughout. Those drums are cool. Ooh. That little production flair was neat, how it, like, all of a sudden was, like, louder in one ear and then, like, muffled and louder in the other. Drumming's neat. It's very, like, almost like bongo, kind of islandy. It's a cool pattern. Very chill, kind of heady, melancholy sound I really appreciate. I love her voice. The way it's so, like I said, weepy and melancholy. Their dynamic almost reminds me of Trocadero. Trocadero is a great underrated band, by the way. That's what they really remind me of a lot. Just dreamy and gorgeous. It's interesting. They pull from, like, the ambient and, like, IDM side of stuff, but also the shoegaze kind of stuff, and they exist in this balance I really appreciate. It sounds like it's, like, coming to a close, but there's, like, a whole other 2 minutes left of this song. '90s printer. That's what I'm getting from that. I'm sorry if this video seems low energy, but... Ooh. That's gorgeous, man. Oh, these guitars are taking me to another universe. paired with those, like druggy sounding drums, man. Wow. God, that guitar tone is everything. It sounds like the secrets of the universe, like opening Pandora's box in my mind. That was so fucking pretentious. Oh my god. But it's the best way I could describe that. It just feels like the secrets of the universe are being unveiled to me as I float through the colors of a drug trip. It's gorgeous. And just like to the drums, I like it when they do that, when all the instruments just drop out and leave like one part. So that was Sept. I'm assuming short for September. Yeah, you know, it did a lot of cool stuff. It started out with the kind of ambient IDM stuff that I was like expecting coming into this record. But then it went into that more kind of shoegazy, not quite as shoegaze as like Fruitcake and Cookies was, but I'm saying mostly in the vocals, that like weepy, kind of sad, dreamy voice that she has. I especially loves it when she plays off of his voice too. The third part did this like mystical, like psychedelic rock, chill, beautiful guitar thing. I have no idea how to describe it, but it was like mind expanding stuff. It was cool. So that track gets the green for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry if this seems like a low energy reaction, but starting a video off after nearly a year since part 1 to a like ambient, like heady kind of chill like vibe music that you're not really gonna find much to talk about other than it's cool. Kind of makes it hard to do a video a little bit. That's why I would never do a reaction to like any kind of like Aphex Twin or anything of the like, even though I love it. Anyway, this is one of the more streamed songs on the album, and this is Pro Love Ad. Kind of reminds me of Mario Kart Wii, I'm not gonna lie. Very glitchy, very neat. I like it a lot. Ooh. That's some cool guitar, little metal, fuck yeah. Oh, I'm not allowed to swear on YouTube anymore. I'm not gonna get monetized if I do. That was a really cool moment, how they used random sounds to make that beat. So it was like, just like a synth pad, and then them hitting the guitar like, kind of like Creep. And then the synth pad again, and it was just like random sounds, but used to make this cool, like, beat, this moment of like, yeah, I can jam out to that. I don't know, neat little touch. Man, I love her voice. It's almost like a lullaby in a way. It's like sweeping me off to sleep, but in the best way possible. And something about it feels so raw. That synth is cool. Bro, these guys are like totally ripping off Drake though with the whole dance thing. Like, they're just totally ripping off, honestly, never mind. I mean, how could they even? I mean, they're fucking, this band's a fluke, man. A bunch of hacks! The greatest album of all time. Honestly, never mind, by Drake. Forget the fact that it was my second worst album of the year. The best album ever made. And they're ripping it off. It's garbage. And it goes from glitchy to beautiful. And I love the dichotomy of that. I love how varied this record is, and its sounds and its ideas. How you can just, like I said, go from something so glitchy and weird and, like, obtuse to this, like, quaint, beautiful guitar. And it doesn't feel like Whiplash. It feels, you know, like it's all the same idea. And that it's really the same sentence. You know, it's not like it's going so far into left field, even though it kind of is. Two completely different sounds. They work off of each other very well. It helps to keep the song fresh and interesting the whole time. You know, it's not just 8 minutes of fucking static noise. It is really beautiful. It's really dreamy. Starting to really get that shoegaze sound again. And you can tell in, like, the swirl and the, like, effects in the guitar, the way it's starting to get, like, washed out, and, like, the changes in, like, dynamics. It's hard to explain shoegaze, in my opinion. And there, it's just, like that. Completely different. Oh, that's a cool effect. Okay, weird random little thing. I really like that one little, like bird chirp synth. The choo, 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 choo. I feel like this entire song would be lost without it. Because, like, yeah, sure, the drum beat is cool, but that one little part is, like the pin holding it together. I feel like without that, it would all, like, unravel. I don't know, I just feel like that's, like, the part I'm, like, really focusing on, so I feel like it really just makes the song feel so makes it, like, come full circle and, like, fully completed. Really fills it out, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know, it's cool. It almost sounds like a laser beam. Can I do that on YouTube? I don't know if I can. YouTube's gotten so weird. I love her voice. I know I keep saying it, but it's so... It's got this, like, weepy, raw sadness, but it's still somehow so sweet at the same time, that it creates a weird, bittersweet feeling of kind of contention and contending, like, feelings and emotions, because, like I said, it's very dreamy and, like, sad and weepy and melancholy, but, like, just so sweet and beautiful at the same time, you know? It's like picking a flower to give to someone you love. The flower is beautiful and love is a beautiful gesture, but you're ultimately killing the plant. That was deep. Okay, but what's the ad part? Are they gonna, like, try and sell me Raid Shadow Legends? Speaking of which, this video is brought to you by Raid. I'm kidding, I don't have sponsors yet. No one's gonna sponsor me, I'm far too chaotic. Unless, Raid Shadow Legends, if you're watching. Actually, I want a Prime sponsorship. Because I actually like Prime, like the Blue Raspberry flavor is really good. Logan, if you're watching this, you're not watching this. Oh, and it goes right into the next track once again. Excellent stuff. Pretty much the same thing I've said about most of these songs. I love the sonic variation and experimentation. The soundscapes they create are so interesting, and they do some very cool things with some unconventional ideas. There's a lot of fuzz, there's a lot of static, and they take this, you know, ugliness and craft it into something beautiful and something danceable. You know, these sounds, like, on their own would sound like computers, like, booting up or breaking or backfiring, and they throw some beautiful, bittersweet vocals over it and make it, like, this weird, weepy, but also, like, danceable track. It's a very strange contradiction of feelings and sounds and emotions and beauty and ugliness and pain and love and sweetness and, you know, bitterness and melancholy. It's a really weird combination of a lot of things, but I think that's what makes it so interesting and so intriguing to listen to. I think it's the great. Anywho, Design 1. Ooh, that's... So it's gonna sound... That specific sound... The way it is in my, like, earphones here, and the production of it, and, like, the engineering of it, the way it's, like, popping in my ears, makes it feels like there's, like, a spider crawling on my brain. And that's, like, the best thing I could think of, is it feels like there are, like, there are spiders in my brain under my skin. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. No, but that's what it sounds like. I swear I'm not having a fucking schizoid meltdown. And I don't know how I feel about it. It's uncomfortable, but interesting. Almost sounds like a Pokemon. Like a Gen 1 Pokemon cry. I think that was Jinx, or... No, that was Hypno, I believe. It was Hypno. God, I'm a nerd. Man, I love this sound so much, because it's doing that kind of IDM, ambient, kind of... It's kind of ambient, but kind of dancey. I mean, this would be, like, perfect for me to read War and Peace to, man. This is great. It's just, like, total vibe, chill music. It's like Daft Punk meets Aphex Twin meets My Bloody Valentine. Actually, I think maybe Slowdive would be more of a, apt comparison, because, well, My Bloody Valentine has some really sweet melodies and stuff, too, but Slowdive has Allison, which has, like, that really sweet, melody to it. I'll see you in the morning, Allison, I don't know. It's one of my favorite songs. It's so good. See what I mean, though, with, like, the glitchiness, how it sounds like a computer breaking, but they're stringing them together to make this, like, dancey, ambient, weird thing. It feels like it's pulling from so many different places and so many different ideas that it's made something completely new out of things that aren't new. You know, like, sample, like, a fucking broken computer and pull an influence from Aphex Twin and, like, Daft Punk, but then make something unlike any of them. Entirely unique to Sweet Trip. Oh, I haven't heard much IDM, so maybe I'm wrong. But it's a first for me. It's a vibe, though. I really like it. Interesting. No vocals this entire song. Just this kind of dancey thing. I'm here for it. I like it. I like it a lot. Alright, this next song, well, first off, I'm going to give Design 1. The Green. You know, didn't do a whole lot, but what it did was neat. Well, it did a lot. It just was a simple instrumental track, though, and I liked it. It was a little vibe. It was a jam. This next track is 10.5 minutes long, so international. Kind of interesting sound. The guitar, I can't place what it's making me feel, but it's interesting. Okay. I'm about to get pretentious again. But the sound of this is almost like you're lifting off into space. And these glitchy electronic sounds are like the sound of the rockets and the technology bringing you up into space. And it's bringing you, it has that cold feeling of the lifeless, cold, abyss of endlessness that is space. And this kind of quiet, dampened the quiet, dampened guitars in the background are the sounds of the Earth in the distance as you're leaving. The very last, remnant of humanity you're going to see for a long time is the sounds of Earth. And that's this guitar. I know, so deep, but that's what I'm feeling. And as it gets quieter and quieter, you're getting further away into the abyss. It's a weird feeling. It gives you a strange feeling of solitude, of true solitude, as you're about as far away as humanity from humanity as you could ever be. And imagine how you would feel in that situation, how small and inconsequential you would feel looking at the entirety of Earth, knowing that there are billions of people you're looking at now at once, and you can't even see them. It's how small they are compared to the vastness of space that you're now in. Even looking at Earth alone is bigger than you can even really comprehend. That's what I'm getting from this song. Brilliant! Although it needs to get on with it. It's already been like a minute and a half, and it's fucking 10, doesn't even be 10 minutes. If this is it for 10 minutes, it's getting the red. I mean, it's a cool sound, a cool idea, but it needs to do more. Knowing what I know, and having heard the rest of this album, I assume it's going to do something amazing. It's probably going to turn to, oh, that's such a cool, Interestingly enough, I'm still getting that feel now. That this is the astronaut from space talking, toward the Earth in this weird kind of, revelation now, where he feels, so sad and so overwhelmed, but, kind of revelation, too, in the same time. And these weird, alien-esque, synth keys are doing a similar thing where it's you're in the part, it's so different from what a humanity would make, because it's not. It's a really cool sound though. His vocal performance here actually really reminds me of a later era Damon Albarn. In a song like Kansas or Revolving Doors. But I really like that synth sound there. So beautiful. Would you make me die in your hands or run away in this charade? Man, this is just gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Oh, those keys, dude. They're like chimes ringing from the heavens above, dude. They're so pretty. It's so calming, too, and relaxed. It's so don't really know how to necessarily describe it, but it's so heady and just interstellar. It feels so open and so cold. It's so pretty at the same time. Yeah. And then we bring it back to Earth with these warm acoustic guitars. The most human thing we've heard in this part. Probably the most human thing we've heard on this whole record. And it's gorgeous. It's so astoundingly full of life compared to all the bleeps and bloops and glitchiness with the rest of the record. And that dichotomy is genius. Because you really feel the life in it and the warmth in it when everything else is so cold and unfeeling. Very cool stuff. Very cool indeed. Anyway. we still have like 20 seconds left to go do something wild. Anyway, that was a really cool song. It did a lot of neat stuff, and it really took me on a journey. I felt like that song took me on a journey. And I envision the journey as leaving Earth, going into space, feeling the insignificance of it all, and then coming home back to the warmth of humanity and realizing the beauty that lies within it. Maybe we are all insignificant, but humanity and life is a beautiful thing, and farewell is a beautiful thing. Anyway, that's the trip it took me on as I was listening to it. That's the story I envisioned. Of course, there's probably no actual story, but the trip it took me on was profound and very interesting, and the fact that just sound alone, the sound of the song alone, made me paint this whole opera in my head, is extremely impressive. International gets the green. And that's it for part 2, because I don't want this video to be super long. Like, subscribe, and I will see you next year for part 3.